Hi everyone, this is MJ. Welcome back on MCode channel. I hope you all are doing great. So friend, as of now we have gone through the multiple concepts of the manual testing. So if anyone want to know much about the manual testing and its concepts, please navigate to my channel and watch the already posted videos. So you will get an idea about the manual testing concepts. So today we are going through the one of the important topic in the software industry, which is models in SDLC. So, as a software engineer, I cannot point out as a software tester or as a software developer. I said as a software engineer. Inside that, testers, developers, BUs, analysts, product owner, everyone came inside the software engineer. So, as a software engineer, you should aware with the models available in the SDLC. Okay, so today's session is very important as a as point of view of the software engineer. So I request please watch this video till last and try to get more information on the models available in the SDLC. So in SDLC we will have different models. Out of that, one is waterfall model, another one is V model, another one is Agile model, another one is spiral model, and last one is iterative model. So these are the different models available in SDLC. Out of that five models, we can choose any one, either waterfall model, either Agile model, or either V model. Out of that, any one model we can choose, and we can do the development from the beginning till end. We can select only one module, and according to that module we can do the complete work of the software development lifecycle. So let's deep dive into each and every module. So first one is waterfall module. See friends, as part of the waterfall module, we can do the work phase wise. Suppose phase 1 is the requirement phase, and another phase is analysis phase, then next phase is design phase. So we can say these are the different phase, different modules. So in waterfall module we can complete phase 1 and then we can go for the next phase. When you go for the second phase, you cannot came in a first phase. So that is the waterfall module. Likewise, it will go from the first to second, second to third, third to fourth. Likewise, it will go till last. In between, if any work came in previous phase, that is not acceptable. Okay, so this is the waterfall module definition, we can say, or this exactly waterfall module. See friends, we have requirements, analysis, design, coding and implementation, testing, operation deployment and maintenance. If you see here, these are the phases of the software development life cycle. These are the different modules of the software development life cycle. Okay, so as part of the software development life cycle, I have explained all the concepts in software development life cycle video. If anyone missed that video, you can go there and watch that video, so you will get an idea what is exactly software development life cycle and how many phases are there. So you will get idea about the requirement analysis, design and coding and implementation and testing, everything. If you see in next coming modules, there also we will have these all phases. So before going to the models available in SDLC, you should know the phases of the software development lifecycle. Okay, so see here, first phase is requirement. In the requirement phase, what exactly work done? BA, they are connecting with the product owner and they can take the requirement from the product owner. Okay, in the requirement phase they can do this kind of work. They can create the SRS and BRD document. SRS means software requirement specification and business requirement document, BRD. Okay, so if that document is got created, document got generated and you got all information by client, then we can go for the next phase, which is the analysis phase. Okay, so inside the analysis phase we can analyze whatever document we have created as part of the requirement phase. So that document we can analyze, and based on that document analysis, we can design our software, like what is the structure of our uh, application, what kind of architecture we can follow for our creating application. Okay, so this kind of thing we can done as part of the design. Once the design phase is completed, we can go for the coding or implementation. There we can do the coding using Java, Python. There are different languages. We have different frameworks like Spring Boot, Node, right? We have React for the front end. These are the different frameworks we can choose out of them, and we can start the coding and implementation of our application. Next phase is testing phase. There, once you done the coding, then we can go for the testing phase. Whatever coding part is done, that we can test inside the testing phase. Now, once the testing is done, we should have to deploy our application in production environment, right? So in prod environment, we can do the deployment in the operation and deployment phase. And once the deployment happen, if there any kind of additional small requirement, or is there any kind of bug or defect identified, that things we can cover as part of the maintenance. So during these phases, I hope you understood. Once we navigated for the next phase, we cannot accept the previous phase changes. Here, suppose you are completed the requirement phase, you've taken all the information by client, and now you are in the analysis phase. At that moment, if client came and say, like, I want this kind of changes, this is not acceptable, because this is the waterfall module. Waterfall module, we cannot accept the previous step changes when we are working in the next step. Okay, so I hope understood. It's like a waterfall. Once the water is falling from up to down, it cannot go up. It's going down and down and down, right? So that's why the name is waterfall. Okay. I hope you understood the waterfall module. Now next we have V module. See friends, as part of the V module, we can first do the planning, then we can go for the requirement, then we can go for the architecture, then we can go for the detailed design, then we can go for the implementation, then we can go for the unit testing, integration testing, system and acceptance testing, and maintenance. So this is the V module. Okay, first we can do the planning. That time BAs are connecting with the product owner. There they can sit together and do the planning. During that phase, they can take the information by the client and take the requirement from by the client and generate the documents. Once the document got generated, then design phase. As part of the design, they can do the upper level design inside the architecture. We can just select the we can choose and we can decide the architecture our application, like which model we are going to use. Okay, then which kind of language, either we can choose for the Java, we can go for the Python or PHP. Okay, C sharp, we can select the language, which framework we can choose. That things we can done as part of the architecture. After that, we can go for the detailed design, like how many pages we can create as part of the application, how many like different uh, like home page, we have another login page, register page. These are the pages we have. So we can decide the pages of our application, windows of our application inside the detailed design. Then next phase is implementation. So this is the one downfall. Inside the downfall, we can take the information, we can create the document, we can generate the architecture, and we can decide the design, and then we can start implementation. That time, now implementation is done, right? Now we are going for the up. Once implementation done, then developer, if suppose I am the developer, I have implemented the login page, and inside the login page I have uh, like developed the username and password field. So that moment, my individual unit testing means, like, suppose this is the login unit, right? It is a one single unit. So that time we can check the particular unit which we have developed, and that developed unit testing we can do, and we can create the unit testing document and attach to the user story. Okay, so likewise we can create the unit testing document. Once the unit testing is done, that time we can go for the next, which is the integration testing. And integration testing we can do the couple of module testing, like with the register page we can do the testing of the login page. Okay, so if you want to know about the unit testing, integration testing, system testing, I already created the video, and even I have created the hands-on video on this system testing, acceptance testing, integration testing, and unit testing. I have completed all the things, tools, types, examples. So you can go there and watch there. I will provide the video link in the description. Okay. And once the integration testing is completed, next is the system and acceptance testing. Okay. And next one is maintenance. Now you can see this kind of relation. During the planning phase, if here implementation, suppose we have done some kind of implementation during the planning phase, our first implementation is available in the production. Okay, so that available implementation, some kind of maintenance work is there that we can do as part of the next cycle planning phase. Okay, so this is the relation. When requirement analysis is there, that time we can check last time system and acceptance testing, and based on that we can decide the new requirement, as well as what are the drawbacks, what are the like disadvantages, or any missed things we can done in the previous release, that we can cover in this requirement. Like whatever testing concepts, whatever testing types, whatever testing scope is there, we can decide as part of the requirement. Then the architecture, we can just correlate with the integration testing. Like if suppose we have decided, like we have this kind of pages, login page, and these integrate like register page and home page. So that architecture we can correlate inside the integration testing, and in the detailed design we can go for the individual module, and we can design individual model. So that time we can take a consideration of the previous release unit testing and do the implementation. So likewise this V module is working. Now next is a agile module, and this is the very important module. You can just pay attention here, you will understood what exactly agile methodology. So as part of the agile methodology, we can do this kind of stages. First stages is requirement collection. Here all the requirement is got collected from the client, and this requirement collection happens by the business analysis. Once the requirement is collected, that time we can do the analysis of that requirement, then design, then coding, then testing, and then maintenance. I hope we should not waste much time for understanding this different part. You will, I hope you got idea what exactly this. But in agile module, all kind of changes is acceptable. Suppose you are in the analysis phase, as part of the waterfall module, if any kind of late requirement came and we are working in the analysis phase, that time as part of the waterfall module we are not accepting this, right? But in the agile module we can accept it. We can check, like, whatever newly coming data newly coming requirement is there, is that requirement we can cover as part of the current sprint. In Agile module, we can work as a sprint wise. Sprint wise means that sprint duration is either 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 month, 4 weeks. Okay, so every sprint we have sprint planning calls. In each sprint, we will have stand up call and scrum call. Okay, in the both of call or in this agile methodology, whatever calls are there, in the all calls, all developers, testers, BAs, and product owner, or each technical and non-technical person can join that call and they can work together. So that's why this method is very flexible, and nowadays everyone following the agile methodology. Somewhere only they are following either V model or waterfall model or spiral model. But many projects are following agile methodology only cause it is very flexible. If so, here every at any time we can take a requirement, we can change the requirement, we can change the development, we can do the accept the any kind of changes at any phase. Suppose you are in the coding phase, and at that moment every day BAs are connecting with the product owner, and suppose you are developing the login page, and that initial time they said like username and password, these two fields are there, and below that we will have the login button. But when the development is going for the login page, and at that moment if client said like login button, we can move towards the left, so they change the requirement, little requirement. So that time BA inform to the team like we have to make this kind of changes as part of the new requirement. So this new requirement is acceptable only in agile methodology. So that's why everyone or nowadays in each organization or each application development they are following the agile methodology. So hence the agile methodology, agile model is a very popular, and they are following. In agile model, as I mentioned, we have sprint planning call, we have scrum call, we have stand up calls, and other calls as well. Like whenever we need any kind of help, we can connect with BAs, we can connect with client as well, we can connect with the developers, we can connect with the testers, everyone we can connect, and we can take information by them, and we can do the testing, we can do the development according to the new information or according to the provided information. Okay, so in scrum call we have scrum master. Scrum master is person, that person takes the individual developers testers update every day, and if there any kind of issue, any kind of blocker, any kind of a work stuck in between, so that resolution they can do there. Like suppose developer A have some kind of a query, that developer A will ask that query into the scrum call, stand up call. So any other developer have the solution for that query of the developer A, so that another developer give the solution in that call only. So there is a no chance to stuck anywhere, and everyone working together, so it is too much helping hand, so no one can stay back, everyone go with at the same speed, and everyone go forward together only. Okay, so scrum master takes daily status of each and everyone, and everyone can join the call, and they can give the his or her update in the call. Our stand up and scrum call will schedule for the 15 to 30 minutes. Inside that, everyone needs to give his or her update to the scrum master. Okay, scrum master keep eye on everyone's work, and master work is before the sprint end, everyone can complete his or her assigned work. So that responsibility taken by the Scrum Master. So that is the exactly work of the Scrum Master. Okay, so that's why Agile methodology, we can say Agile methodology as well. So Agile methodology is the very popular methodology. Everyone is following the same. Or nowadays, as I mentioned, many of the projects they are following the Agile methodology. Now, next methodology is spiral model. So inside the spiral model, I just missed here the like image, but see, oh yeah, I have that image. Sorry. So in spiral model, you can see there are four stage, and in spiral model, why we can say as a spiral model? Okay, we can see here our four stages is planning, risk analysis, engineering, and evaluate. Okay. So here requirement gathering, risk analysis, prototyping, coding, testing, project evaluation. Okay. So likewise we can go. Suppose here we can start from the planning, risk analysis. So this is the one cycle. See, it got started and it got completed here, right? It started from here, one cycle is completed here, then next cycle is started from here and it is completed here, third cycle is started from here and it is completed here, right? Likewise, so what you can understood here? Okay, see, means suppose at this phase you have taken the all requirement, we can got you got the all requirements means requirement gathering is happen there. Now next is risk analysis. Is there any risk, is there any problem we will have during will have in the development? So that kind of planning or designing we can do. Now next it came for the coding and testing. Once the design is done, next phase is coding and testing, and once coding and testing is done, then it will go for the evaluation. Here I want it's similar like waterfall model you feel, right? But here also we have release wise delivery. Okay, so suppose you have started, you have chosen the require, you have taken the requirement and you shifted to the next phase, and now this release work is started, right? Now after once the cycle is started, they taken the requirement, they started development. At the after that time, if any kind of improvement or any kind of additional requirement or any kind of additional feature will be there, that time that all information we can keep for the next cycle, we cannot accept in the current cycle or current release. One cycle is a one release. So whatever information we got at the initial moment of the release, that initial moment release, initial information we can choose for that particular release. After once we started the requirement gathering and requirement start gathering is go completed and we go for the design phase and coding phase or testing phase. After that, if any kind of a requirement or any kind of additional requirement is there, we can keep as it is for the next cycle. Once the cycle is completed, then whatever requirement we got after the first cycle started, that all information and first cycle maintenance work will go in the second cycle. Likewise we go for the third cycle, likewise we go for the fourth cycle. In sense, in spiral model we cannot take the additional requirement or new requirement once the cycle or release cycle is got started. If cycle or release cycle got started, we will take the requirement, but we cannot go with that requirement. We'll implement that newly received information or newly uh, received requirement we can do the implementation of that new requirement in the next release. During the second cycle, if additional requirement or maintenance work we will get, that work will do after the completion of the second cycle in third cycle. So likewise, it is the spiral module, and likewise we can implement the spiral module in the SDLC. Now, iterative model. So inside that iterative model, we can do the planning, we can do the requirement analysis and design and deployment and testing and evolution and initial planning. So initial planning got started from here. Then we go for the planning, requirement, analysis and design and implementation. Once the implementation is done, we can give that whatever implementation we have done, we can deploy it. Once the deployment is done, and then testing phase is started. As of now, we have done coding implementation. After that, we can do the testing, and after that, we can do the deployment. But here, once the development is done, that time we can deploy the whatever development is completed, that we can deploy, and after that, we can test of the uh, implemented part. In that implemented part, if we found any kind of defects and bug, that evaluation we can do, and that defects and bugs we can keep, and we can go with the next cycle requirement. So suppose here we have 5 bugs, 5 defects, and new requirement 5 stories. So 5 plus 5, 10. So that 10 task work will be start in the next cycle. Okay, that cycle requirement planning analysis implementation is done, and again second cycle we will deploy. Once that deployment done, we can do the testing of the second cycle, and there we will have 2 bugs, and in the third phase we'll get 7 stories. So 7 plus 2, 9 tasks will be there. So that 9 tasks will be started here. Likewise, means once that implementation is done, we can deploy the code to the production, as well as we can do the testing. So both modules, both kind of work we can do at the same type. So that's why we can say as a iterative model. Okay, so incremental model, another name is incremental model, means like we have deployed this part, and in the testing phase we got these 2 defects, and new increment details or requirement is there. So there are 5 stories. So 5 plus 2, 7 task work will be happen in the next iteration. So likewise, iteration is there. That's why first iteration, second iteration, third iteration, that one cycle is nothing but one iteration, and that's why we can call it as a iterative model. So that's all about the models available in the SDLC: waterfall module, V module, agile module, spiral module, and last one is iterative module. See friends, nowadays, as I mentioned, everyone following with the agile model, because this model is a very flexible model. Inside the agile model, we can accept any kind of requirement changes at any time. So that's why we are choosing the agile models. And every interviewer will ask the 1 or 2 questions definitely on the methodology. They are obviously asked, if you are experienced, definitely they will ask which models you have followed as of now. Or if you are fresher, that time they will ask, do you know any modules of the software development life cycle? So that time you should know these 5 modules. Out of 5 modules, you can give explanation of any one module. Or if any interview want to go deep to your knowledge, so that time they can ask individually questions on each modules. So I have explained all the concepts clearly in the video. So please watch the video complete from starting to end, so you will get a complete idea about the models available in the SDLC. So that's it guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. So please like and share this video to your friends so they will also get to know what exactly models available in the SDLC. If anyone new here on my channel, so please subscribe to Code so you will never miss an update from the M code. So that for that you need to hit the bell icon. So please hit the bell icon so you will get update whenever I'm posting new video. At the same time you will get the update. Okay. And one more thing I want to mention here. I have created a code channel on Telegram as well. So if you guys have any kind of questions, please post that question on my channel. Please join that channel and you will get a solution on that channel there as well. So if you have any kind of questions, queries, please put that question queries in comment. That is also fine. But if you want to get a quick solution on that, so please post that questions on the Telegram channel so you will get the solution very quickly. And even I also give the response of each and everyone's there very quick and fast with the detailed explanation. And if anyone want to know any kind of PPTs from here from my, then I will provide it. Please do request in the chat. Okay, so that's it guys. Please stay connected and try to learn new things daily, so that will be help you in the while working in the project. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video with a new topic. Stay tuned, stay connected.